really the main purpose of that is to say, look, the bar's set really low in terms of energy and thermal insulation in South Carolina specifically, but even in the surrounding areas, because we're in an area of the country where people are like, it's not that big a deal, right? But us electing to go in and do this open sale is clearly derived from the position of we know what's best.
Sure.
And so, going into that, and, you've always hyped us up and speak all this like incredible praise, which I'm always thankful for. I see you chiming in all the time on our groups and different things about, the way we build and the way we insulate. And it makes me feel good because, sometimes in your mind you start doing something and you think this is the best way. But if you really didn't ask the question, or if you're just doing it from a cost savings perspective, or you're doing it because, well, that's what everybody else does, you kind of lose focus of what you're really offering.
Yeah.
And so, that for us as a company, it was, why even offer something that's substandard?
I'll tell you, I think one of the things that I've looked at for years is I think we need to look at our houses the same way we look at our vehicles, right? If you could buy that Chevy Tahoe that seats 7 or 8 in it, and it got 62 miles per gallon, you'd go, man, how many of these can I buy? So when we look at fuel consumption and affordability, to go with the bare minimum in a 2009 IECC, which is R13 in the walls and R30 in the ceiling, right? You've got that standard car that's getting crappy gas mileage. And I think our energy providers, don't want to throw anyone's name under the bus, but Duke Energy, but I haven't seen them reduce cost recently at all. So those costs continue to go up. And as we look at our thermal envelope and the footprint that we have in these homes, and let's face it, I've seen some of the smaller plans that you've put together, but for the most part, we build these big, beautiful homes. And that's not to be what we refer to as energy pigs. We don't want to do that. We really want to make a conscious decision. So I love that if you've gone with the best solution, not the most cost effective, but the best solution, it makes a whole lot of sense, because folks aren't going to move into this house for 6 months. They're going to be here for a number of years, and 12 months of year. They don't want to have to get a Christmas card from Duke Energy that says, hey, thanks so much for using so much energy. I'd love for them to come back to you and say, man, we had a house half this size and it costs twice as much to heat in the wintertime, TJ. How in the world are you and your team doing it? That's my goal from the very beginning, and that they're not houses, but they're homes. Yep. We live in them, right? I mean,
100%. Well, and I look at it as it's basically you're insuring yourself against the fact that energy prices will continue to rise, right? Especially as there's a push, and we ain't going to do a deep dive here, but there's different things that come into it. Cost of living, inflation, politics, so many things drive that energy cost.
Yep.
And so if there's something that you could do today that'll potentially save you thousands and thousands of dollars over the life of the home, it just makes sense to me. And I would never want to lead someone, because I could offer a flashy lower sale price by cutting corners. I definitely want to, if I'm stamping my name on it, I want it to be a quality home. So that's,
again, you're going to insulate it one time. Once it's drywalled, we're done and over with. We're not in an old farmhouse. We're not living in a time where no insulation is required. So if you're going to do it, and it's an investment for not only your company, but that homeowner that's going to live there for 30 years, you want to offer them the best that you can.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options, or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.